Chapter 10. The black cat fur choked his throat. William struggled to breathe, felt his heart pound. Everything went bright red. With a last burst of strength, he reached up both hands, grabbed the throbbing cat's body, and pulled. Yes! He lifted the cat off his face and heaved it onto its back on the bed. With a furious hiss, it squirmed under his grasp, tried to twist itself onto its feet. William grabbed his knife from the chair beside the bed. "Die, Catherine," he screamed. "Die at last." William thrust the knife downward. The tip of the blade gashed the cat's side. The creature snarled in fury as bright red blood poured onto the black fur. "Die," William yelled, slashing the cat again. The cat sunk its fangs deep into William's thumb, forcing him to cry out and loosen his grip. The animal squirmed free and dropped to the floor. William hurled his knife at the cat. The blade missed by an inch and stuck in the floorboards. The cat let out a howl of rage. William dived for the knife, yanked the blade free, stared around wildly. "Where are you, Catherine?" he shouted breathlessly. "Where are you?" He heard a soft scuffling sound outside the partially open door. William lunged through the doorway, knife raised high in his hand. Light blinded him. A girl shrieked. "She will not escape me this time," William thought. "What are you doing?" Evie Mason cried out. She stood there in a white nightgown, an oil lamp in her hand. Stunned, William backed away from Evie. I could have killed her, he thought. He felt as though someone had punched him in the stomach. I could have killed Evie. "What has happened?" Evie demanded. She took a step forward, stared at the knife. It gleamed red with blood. Jessica appeared behind Evie, a brown shawl draped over her head, her face hidden in shadows. William heard the sound of purring. Jessica cuddled the cat in her arms. She stared at him accusingly. Evie turned to her cousin. "Raven!" Evie cried. "You are hurt!" Evie gently examined the animal's fur. She raised her hand. Blood stained her fingers. "What have you done?" she whispered. "What have you done to my Raven?" "It is not a cat," William managed to choke out. Terror filled Evie's eyes. William moved toward the cousins. "It is not a cat. It is Catherine." "Stay back," Evie ordered, raising her hand, her eyes fixed on the bloody knife in his grip. "You do not understand." William let go of the knife. It clattered to the floor. "That is not a cat. It is an evil girl, a girl named Catherine. She can take any form she chooses. I have hunted her clear across the colony. She is the one who brought you this bad luck." "No, you are mad," Evie exclaimed. "It is my cat, my poor, dear Raven." "What has happened here?" a voice boomed. Henry Mason pushed past the girls. "The creature." William pointed to the cat in Jessica's arms. "She attacked me." "He tried to kill my Raven," Evie told her father. Henry took the lamp from his daughter and held her in his arms, soothing her. He glanced over at William, shook his head in dismay. "You tried to kill our cat? Why would you do such a thing?" "This is not a cat. It is a girl named Catherine Hatchett, a girl with a red crescent birthmark on her forehead. The mark is a sign of her evil nature. She brought you the same bad luck she gave our village." William forced his voice to stay low and calm. "When we tried to hang her, she changed her form and escaped. I have been hunting her to put an end to her evil magic." "You really believe this?" he asked slowly. "I have seen her. I have felt her dark power. She killed my brother and my father." Jessica moved into the light. She pulled the shawl down so it covered part of her face. He is insane," she stammered. "He is a madman." William heard her voice for the first time. It sent a chill through him. "He talks of evil power," she continued, "but he is the one bringing death into this house." "He is correct about our luck, though," Henry replied. "It is not only our farm. The whole area is suffering. The villagers claim it is the work of a curse." "It is Catherine," William insisted. "You are certain of it?" William nodded. "And our luck?" "It will change," William promised. "As soon as Catherine is dead, your bad luck will end." He turned to Evie. Her eyes welled with tears as she stared at her cat. "That is not Raven," he told her, his voice gentle. "Please believe me." She shook her head. "I have had Raven since she was a kitten. She could not be evil." William held his hand toward the animal. It purred contentedly as Jessica stroked its fur. "I have watched Catherine turn into a rat, a horse, and a snake. She was in her cat form when I tracked her here. She must have come upon Raven and taken her place." Evie's lips quivered. Do you mean? He shook his head sadly. I am sorry, but it is true. She killed Raven and found shelter with your family. How do you know this? Jessica challenged. What proof do you have? I saw it in the cat's eyes, William explained. He turned to Henry. You must believe me. We have to put an end to her once and for all. You tried to kill Raven, Jessica said bitterly, and now you make up stories to excuse your crime. Raven hissed at William. The cat twisted in Jessica's arms and sprang to the floor. Then it ran off down the hall. Let us go, Evie. Jessica took her cousin's arm and led her away. The dark-haired girl turned back for a moment and stared at William. Something cold glittered in her eyes. Something familiar. Chapter 11. William awoke to a bright blue sky, shimmering with sunlight. As he entered the kitchen, he worried about how Evie would treat him. What would she say? To his relief, Evie greeted him warmly and smiled as she served him breakfast. William knew she did not believe her cat to be evil, but he guessed that she had understood his actions, and she had forgiven him for trying to kill her pet. William glanced over at Jessica. Her cap covered much of her face. Although she did not speak, he sensed she had forgiven him too. She certainly is shy, he told himself. That shawl she wore last night covered almost as much of her face as the bonnet does. During the meal, William found himself wondering about the cat, about Catherine. Did I jump to the wrong conclusion? He asked himself. I was half asleep when Raven entered the room. Could my dreams have combined with the actual events, or did Catherine truly lurk nearby, waiting for another chance to attack him? Forget about Catherine for now, he told himself. You have been welcomed into the home of such a friendly family, into Evie Mason's home. Forget everything else, everything but Evie. He could not take his eyes off her as she went about her chores. Feel strong enough to do some chopping, a voice boomed, interrupting his thoughts. He turned to Henry, who stood in the doorway with an axe in his hand. The wood pile, Henry continued. I'm sure Evie could use some more kindling for that stove. William felt his face flush. Had Henry caught him staring at Evie? Nodding, he rose and accompanied Henry outside. The snow had melted. Birds flocked in the field. Those are the first birds I have spotted in a month, Henry commented. The farmer picked up a heavy log and placed it on the chopping block. He smiled at William. If there really is evil at work, you must have scared it off last night. Our luck may have finally turned. William certainly believed his luck had changed. He felt truly alive today. For an instant he felt guilty. Joseph and Edmund Parker were dead, and so many others. His brother Joseph would never feel the sun on his face again, or hear a bird, or kiss a girl. Cataluna had ripped those things away from him. It is all right to feel good, he told himself. Joseph would want me to feel good. I will chop first, Henry told him. He hefted a big axe and swung it, testing its weight. You best stand back, he warned. William moved to the side. He marveled at how Henry Mason worked the axe. His movements appeared effortless, yet he could split even the thickest logs in a single blow. Feels good to split a log in two, the farmer commented, very satisfying. He nodded for William to set another log on the block. William stood the log on end and stepped back. Henry swung the axe, bringing it down full force. The log burst in two. He placed one of the halves back on the block and quartered it. As he positioned the other half, he said, Charlie could swing an axe like no one else. How did he die? William asked. Henry rested the head of the axe on the chopping block. The strangest thing. He woke up with his stomach hurting. Said he felt very thirsty and went out to the well. That is where I found him. He gestured toward the stone well at the far end of the house. He fell into the well? No, Henry replied. I found him lying beside it, had the bucket next to him, no water in it. I guess he never got that drink, William commented. No, he drank. I found the cup in his hand, but the bucket did not contain water. It overflowed with blood. William cringed. Blood? The entire well is filled with blood? Henry shook his head. No, I checked it. Fresh water, all right, but we have not drunk from it since. We have been using the rain barrel. Henry stood back from the chopping block and swung. The log split apart. The halves flew in opposite directions. Yes, it feels good to swing an axe. Henry positioned the next log himself, then handed the axe to William. Here, you give it a try. William stepped up to the block, planted his feet, and swung. The blade struck near the edge of the log and stuck fast. He had to pry it free. William flushed. He did not want Henry to think he could not handle an axe. The next swing landed dead center, splitting the log. "Now you have it," Henry called. William split a second log, a third. With each blow, he felt himself growing stronger, more sure of himself. Yes, it does feel good, he thought. With Henry placing the logs for him, he made quick work of a half-dozen of them. "Show him you can go faster," he told himself. Gripping the handle, he worked with a smooth, steady motion. Log after log burst in two. The halves popped off the chopping block and landed several feet away. Beads of sweat broke out on William's forehead. The head of the axe whistled through the air. He was really enjoying the thunk of blades striking wood. William picked up the pace. So did Henry. As soon as William split a log, Henry had another in place. He would step back quickly and nod, and William would let the axe fly. "Show him how fast you can go," he challenged himself. He grunted with each stroke of the axe. His breathing grew ragged. His heart raced. "Faster," he urged himself. "I can go faster." "Yes, faster," he shouted. "Whoa, young man," Henry called as he hurried to set another log in place. "This is not a race." Henry chuckled again. His laughter sounded different to William. Softer, almost feminine. William swung the axe fiercely. The laughter grew louder. Wild, feminine laughter. The laughter of a girl. "Catherine!" William cried in horror. He tried to stop the swing in midair, but a power had seized his arms. He slammed the axe down on Henry's wrist. Henry's eyes went wide as the blade cut into him, sliced through flesh and muscle and bone. Warm, wet blood sprayed over William's face. Henry uttered a high, long wail of pain. His right hand fell to the ground with a thump. Chapter 12. Blood pumped from Henry's open wrist, spraying the pile of logs, drenching the axe and the chopping block. William's stomach heaved. A sour taste stung the back of his throat. He stared down in horror at the hand lying on the ground. From somewhere nearby, Catherine's laughter filled the air, taunting him, torturing him. William raised his hands to his ears, but he couldn't shut out the horrible laughter. "I must help Henry," he told himself. "I must." William turned and reached out both hands to the farmer. "No," Henry screamed. "Do not touch me." He staggered to his feet, clutched his blood-soaked stump with his left hand. His eyes searched wildly for something to stop the bleeding. Jessica and Evie burst out of the farmhouse. "No!" Evie uttered a long wail of horror. Henry stumbled toward the barn. His knees wobbled as he snatched a length of leather harness and wrapped it around his forearm, jerked it tight, cutting off the flow of blood. He fell against the barn wall, his face white as the snow around him. Evie raced to her father. She eased him to the ground and cradled him in her arms. "Monster!" Jessica cried. She flung herself at William, pounding him with her fists, biting and scratching. Still in shock, William did not shield himself from her attack. "Monster, you murdering monster, I will see you dead," Jessica raged. Finally, William grabbed Jessica's wrists. "Stop," he ordered. "Stop now." He gave her a quick shake and then released her. He turned to Evie and saw hatred and despair in her eyes. It was not me," he stammered, holding out his hand, pleading for her to understand, to forgive. "It was her. It was—" "Catherine?" Jessica cried, stepping between William and her cousin. "An evil girl named Catherine? You are the evil William Parker, and you will be hanged. The village will hunt you down and hang you for what you have done here today." She turned to Evie. "Stay with Uncle Henry. I will get help from the village." She ran toward the horse. William slowly approached Evie. He reached out for her. "Stay away from me, William," she sobbed. William dropped his gaze to Henry. The poor man had lost consciousness, but his chest rose and fell steadily. The leather tourniquet had stopped the bleeding. "Leave here," Evie ordered in a trembling voice. "You have brought us nothing but pain. I cannot bear to see you." She buried her face against her father's chest. William stumbled backward. Tears stung his eyes as he stared down at Evie and her father. He tried to speak, to explain, but he knew that no words could ease her pain. He knew with all certainty that Catherine still lived, still walked the earth, filling it with her evil. He gazed a final time at Evie. He could endure it no longer. He turned and ran, across the yard and through the field of withered corn, into the woods beyond. Branches slashed across William's face. Catherine's cruel laughter rang in his ears. "I will not hang, Catherine," he screamed. "Nothing will stop me from destroying you." William pushed himself to run faster, harder. I must hide, he told himself. But where? Where? William splashed through a shallow creek. He slipped on a mossy rock and crashed to his knees. A dog howled in the distance. William heard a musket shot. They are after me already, he thought. He forced himself to his feet. I will find the monster, a man shouted, his voice harsh with anger. Close, much too close. Run, William urged himself. Run. You must survive. You must kill Catherine Hatchett. You must stop her evil. Do not let her beat you. But two men stepped out to block his path. William Parker, one of them shouted, you cannot escape. You will hang from the tallest tree. Part 4. Shadyside, 1995. Chapter 13. Lauren shoved her algebra book into her backpack. She was heading to Marcy's to study with her. Marcy had read a horoscope that convinced her their math teacher would give a pop quiz the next day. And Marcy wonders why people hum the Twilight Zone theme music when she walks by, Lauren thought. But Lauren didn't mind studying at Marcy's. No Regina over there. Lauren's stomach knotted every time she and Regina ended up in the same room. They hadn't had any more fights. Probably because Regina barely said a word to her, or their parents. Lauren grabbed her backpack. She hesitated, then picked up the car keys from her dresser. She ran her thumb over the mother of pearl circling the top of the ignition key. Her fingers trembled. She tightened them into a fist. The sharp metal keys bit into her palm. Don't freak out, she told herself. Lauren hurried down the hall. She hesitated outside Regina's room. Sometimes she missed her sister. They still lived in the same house, but it felt as though they lived on separate planets. Lauren knocked lightly. No answer. She could hear music blasting through the door. Regina has the radio on so loud she probably didn't hear me, Lauren thought. Or maybe she's hoping I'll go away. Why risk it? Lauren asked herself. Regina's not making any effort to be friendly. Why should I? Lauren started to leave, but she stopped when she heard the news come on Regina's radio. A hit-and-run driver killed a 68-year-old woman today on Division Street. Lauren listened to the news story. The woman's car had been hit so hard that her head crashed into the windshield. She died instantly. Lauren could imagine it all. The crash of metal against metal, the screech of tires, the sound of glass cracking, and the blood, all the blood. Lauren squeezed her eyes shut for a moment, trying to force the gruesome picture from her mind. Mom, I'm leaving for Marcy's, Lauren called as she passed through the living room. Mrs. Patterson sat on the couch reading. Okay, don't stay too late, her mother replied. I don't know, Mom, Lauren teased. Sometimes I lose all track of time when I'm working on algebra problems. I start having so much fun that I forget to check the clock. I'm afraid you inherited your math skills from me, Mrs. Patterson said. I still count on my fingers. Hey, good idea! Lauren slammed out the door. She trotted to the driveway, eager to get to Marcy's. Marcy always made her forget her problems, or at least laugh at them a little. The Cataluna stood waiting for her. Lauren circled in front of it. Her keys slipped out of her fingers. She bent down to retrieve them. Something stains the bumper, a smear of red. Oh no, Regina, Lauren thought. What did you do? She ran her finger over the long smudge. Paint, metallic red paint. Regina must have scraped a little paint off someone's car, Lauren thought. She smoothed her palm across the fender. No dent or anything. But Regina is grounded, she remembered. So this means she started sneaking out again, probably to meet Justin. I'm not going to tell Mom and Dad about this, Lauren decided. I'm not listening to Regina call me a snitch again. But I'm not covering for her this time. If Mom or Dad finds the mark, fine. Regina is on her own. Read me Regina's horoscope, Lauren asked Marcy. I want to find out if there is a mental institution in her future. Marcy scooped up an armful of magazines from the floor and tossed them on her bed. Which one do you want to hear? This one is better for love. This one? You pick, Lauren said. You're the expert. Marcy pawed through the pile. She threw the magazines she rejected back on the floor. You don't really think Regina's crazy, do you? Marcy asked, her dark brown eyes full of concern. No. Well, I hope not. But you should see her driving the Cataluna. Something happens to her. She changes when she's in that car, Lauren sighed. Sometimes I wish our parents had never given it to us. Changes how? Marcy asked. Lauren tugged on her bangs. I told you about that girl we almost hit. and Regina ran over a little boy's tricycle. She couldn't stop laughing. Sometimes I laugh when I get nervous. It almost hurts, but I can't stop, Marcy told her. That's different, Lauren insisted. Regina laughed in a mean way, really cold, as if she enjoyed scaring those kids to death. Marcy stared at Lauren for a long moment. Maybe Regina's been hanging around Justin too long, she finally suggested. You know what a twisted sense of humor he has. Remember what he did with those frogs we had to dissect in biology class? That was so gross, Lauren said. Marcy yanked another magazine out of the pile. This is the perfect one. Regina is a Sagittarius, right? Lauren nodded. Okay, we're going to solve this problem right now, Marcy declared. A boyfriend demands too much of your time, Marcy read. Do an inventory check to decide if he's worthy. If not, wave goodbye. Remember to take your Flintstones vitamins this month. You need strength that only a little green Bam Bam can give. Lauren grabbed the magazine from her friend. So all I need to do is buy Regina some vitamins? She joked. Marcy yanked the magazine back. No, genius. Regina needs to dump Justin. He's been suspended twice this year already, and last time he almost got Regina suspended too. Justin's her problem, not the car. Maybe I should tell Marcy I've heard a strange voice in the car, Lauren thought. No, that happened because I felt so worried about Regina. She spooked me by insisting she heard a girl's voice in the car. Spooked me so much I thought I heard it myself. Regina has gotten more impossible since she started going out with Justin, Lauren admitted slowly. The horoscopes are never wrong, especially when they agree with me, Marcy grinned. Tell her to wave goodbye to Justin. Lauren reached into her backpack and pulled out her algebra book. I hope your horoscope is wrong about tomorrow, or I'm going to flunk that quiz. Lauren rushed down Marcy's driveway. It was nearly midnight. I wonder if Mom will believe I couldn't tear myself away from the algebra, she thought. She opened the car door and climbed inside. Then she slid the key into the ignition. She stared at the wheel, felt a cold chill. Why do I suddenly feel so frightened? You're scaring yourself, Lauren scolded. It's late, it's dark, and you're letting your imagination control you. She checked the knob on the radio. The radio was definitely off. No strange voices tonight. Start the car, she ordered herself. Marcy is right. There is nothing wrong with the Cataluna. It hasn't been causing Regina to act so strangely. Justin has. He is always trying to find out how close he can get to the edge, Lauren thought, and he's pulling Regina along with him. Lauren turned the key. The engine purred. Less than a mile and you're home, Lauren told herself. She pulled out onto the street. As the car picked up speed, Lauren heard a faint rustling sound. Then a thud. What's that? Lauren jerked her head toward the noise. Her backpack had fallen off the seat. Lauren laughed. I should have had Marcy read my horoscope too, she thought. This month, Pisces should be aware of backpacks falling in the night. Someone coughed. A cold chill shot down Lauren's back. No. Someone is back there, she realized. Someone is hiding in the back seat. Chapter 14. Is it just the voice I heard before, or is someone really back there? Gripped with fear, Lauren slowly raised her eyes to the rearview mirror. Justin, Lauren cried, you idiot. What are you doing back there? You scared me to death. She swerved to the curb and stopped. Justin climbed into the front seat, grinning mischievously at her. What is your problem? Lauren demanded. I could have gotten into an accident. I could... Whoa, calm down, Lauren, Justin interrupted, placing a hand on her arm. I'm sorry. I need to talk to you. You ever hear of a little thing called a telephone? She snapped, still shaking all over. Lauren clenched the wheel to steady her hands. Justin saw how upset she was. Sorry, he mumbled. I didn't think it would scare you so much. Lauren sighed. Typical Justin. What did you want to talk to me about? Regina, he answered. I would have called, but I didn't want her to know. Is he worried about Regina too? Lauren wondered. Has he noticed how strange she's been acting? Something is wrong, isn't it? Lauren asked, her voice tight with fear. Is Regina okay? You tell me, Justin replied. I hardly see her. He leaned closer to Lauren. What do your parents have against me? They don't know anything about me. Lauren studied Justin's face. His green eyes were intense, the muscles in his jaw tight. He does care about Regina, Lauren thought. He really does. I don't know what to tell you, Lauren said. I guess they don't like the way Regina has been acting since you guys started going out. They think you're a bad influence or something. Justin slid one arm around her. Lauren's stomach fluttered. She'd never been this close to Justin before. Talk to your mom, he urged. She'll listen to you, Lauren. Lauren stared back at him. His face was inches from her own. She could feel his warm breath on her cheek. Tell her I'm not such a bad guy. I'm not a bad guy at all. Really. Justin leaned closer and kissed her. A shiver ran down Lauren's body. She jerked away from Justin. No, Lauren. Kiss him, a voice said. Lauren blinked. She shook her head. Kiss him, Lauren, the voice urged. Regina isn't here. I want us to be friends, Lauren, Justin said softly. I shouldn't. Yes, you should, Lauren. It's what you want. Go ahead and kiss him, the girl's voice said, somewhere near Lauren's ear. Lauren reached out and clasped her hands around Justin's neck. She pulled him to her and guided his lips to hers. Yes, Lauren. That's the way, Lauren, the voice whispered. She felt Justin's arms wrapping around her, drawing her close to him, holding her tight. He can be yours, Lauren. Don't let Regina have him. Regina, the name scratched at her brain. But the sensation of Justin's lips on hers felt so good. So good. Why should Regina have all the fun? Whispered the voice. Regina, Lauren exclaimed. She shoved Justin away. Justin pulled her against him. What's the matter, Lauren? Isn't that what you wanted? Let go of me, Justin. Leave me alone, she cried. Justin grinned at her. You liked it, Lauren. Don't pretend you didn't. Get out of here, she demanded. Get out of my car. Lauren, we were just having a little fun. No big deal, Justin said, pretending to pout. You have a sick idea of fun. I want you out. Right now, Lauren ordered. He shrugged. Then he opened the door and climbed out. You really are a creep, Justin. How can you pretend to care about Regina? Justin laughed. It was only a kiss, Lauren. And not too bad. He slammed the car door. Lauren started the car and pulled back into the street. How could I have done that to Regina? She asked herself. How? Lauren's throat felt dry. Now it will be even worse between Regina and me, she thought. Even if Regina never finds out, I'll know. I'll know I betrayed my own sister. Throaty, teasing laughter filled the car. No, Lauren whispered. No, no, no. The laugh grew louder. Who are you? Lauren cried. I don't understand what you want from me. What do you want from me? Lauren slammed her foot on the gas pedal. I have to get away from that sound, she thought. Have to get away. But the laughter swelled as she sped away. Such cold, mocking laughter. Who are you? Lauren shrieked, driving faster. Faster. Who are you? Wouldn't you like to know? Came the teasing reply.